Hey everybody, welcome to this channel. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and share this content with your inner circle. You may not agree with President Trump, you may not like him. As a matter of fact, it may be your very mission to oppose his every move. However, President Trump, I believe, is literally fulfilling the covenant mandate over his office. Okay? And I want us to think about this in terms of the Declaration of Independence, the document that was designed by the founders of this nation. Okay? When they designed that document, they understood how weak their position was to be able to legislate or execute anything on that document. Not from any type of human capacity. They knew that they needed God to back this document, to back its legislation, to back its execution, that they had no human capacity by any means to found this nation. And so they literally laid down their lives. They laid down the mandate that they wrote in the Declaration of Independence. They committed it to the Lord. And I believe in that moment, in that season, America literally came into covenant with heaven. That what America has become, the nation that we know it to be right now, is literally God fulfilling his covenant over this nation. Okay? And I believe as we mark 250 years since independence, that the Lord is showing up again for America in 2026 to fulfill his covenant with her. Okay? So the Declaration of Independence, when it was designed, I also believe it was not just designed for America. It was literally a blueprint for other nations, for the entire world, okay? That through the way that America would learn to govern, okay, from a judicial level, a legislative level, and an executive level, other governments would follow suit, okay? I believe the government that is upon America is literally a blueprint for the rest of the world. It's almost like hope has been restored. It is not easy to understand how a human being feels when their freedom has been taken from them. The freedom to live, the freedom to dream. My heart breaks because when they speak, you can literally pick up on the fact that they have been a desperate people. But in many nations, literally being human, which is just the ability to dream and hope and have goals and know whether you're going to have food for the next 2 weeks or the next 2 months. It's just being human. A lot of people in a lot of nations do not have that privilege. And I believe it's America's covenant mandate to bring it to those people in those nations, not just to give them a little hope, but it's literally, I believe, God's demonstration of his will for us here on earth, right? That in as much as he created us, he created us to rule. He created us to dream. The world covenant mandate is literally for a leader like President Trump to demonstrate to millions, billions, what it means not just to be human, but to thrive as a human under good governance, okay? Now, good governance doesn't mean that, leaders in place will always do the right thing at the right time, or nations will consistently have leaders that are delivering. That's not what it means. But I believe every human needs the understanding of what it means to simply be human, to be able to have goals, to be able to have dreams, to be able to access resources. You don't have to be the richest nation in the world to just be able to live a peaceful life and be able to dream for your children and be able to have hope for, you know, the next 2 months, the next 2 weeks. That is simply being human. That is our very existence. And the fact that that is ripped away simply because one human being just thinks that they can just, you know, they have the right in some regard to rip that away from the rest of the masses is severe injustice.